How many people? Yeah. Good. All right. We're filming. How many people here get referrals on a regular basis? Wait before you answer. Don't lie. You typically get referrals on a regular. Let's say on every month you get a new referral that leads to a sale. Okay. Okay. Really? Okay. Good. Good for you. Well, no, there's a lot of people out there, and I'll be honest, there's a lot of people say, I work on by referral or word of mouth, and you're lying. You're using hope as a strategy. You know, it's like, I hope I get referrals, I hope someone does, it's because you haven't trained yourself to do effective marketing, and or you don't have a system in place to get referrals, okay? So today we're going to talk about the chain of referrals. And right now, in this economy, you can no longer afford the luxury of a broken chain of referrals. Okay, so chain of referrals, the cost of acquiring customers keeps climbing because of the economy. Okay, because more people don't trust people. That like, know, and trust factor, the BS radar is up. I don't believe you, right? So we have to spend a little bit more to convince them in time, money, or effort to convince people to do business with us. The value of each customer declines due to economic-driven price and profit margin reductions because we're spending less. You know, and times have changed a little bit, but we're still going to go through this for another 3 years, at least 3 or 4 years, based on the way things are going. There's loss of buying power. So you got to get good at cloning your customers, okay, to eliminate the investment of acquiring another and another. Okay, that's the chain. You want to create a chain of referrals. Okay, so Paul J. Meyer, SMI. Anybody here of SMI? Anybody's in sales? Yes, Sales Innovation Institute. Right? He says you never need to be without a good prospect as long as you have just one client, unless you're inept at trust. So if you're a dirty rotten liar or you don't follow through with what you say, then you're not. That's not going to happen. But if you're a good, decent person who provides valuable service to someone, you're good, you follow through with what you said you're going to do for your clients and your customers, then you have nothing to worry about. So in other words, you have to get every client should, or customer should beget another. Every customer you do business should bring in another customer. Okay? So you've got to have a system for that. Does that make sense? Yes. Client get a client, customer get a customer, member bring a member. Okay. So, example. So if I run ads on Facebook, I run ads in targeted publications, right? If I spend $500 to get a new customer by advertising, it's cut in half if that customer brings me another customer. Does that make sense? Yeah. Because I didn't have to spend to buy that customer. Right. All right? So, new customer referral, the link, 250 per customer. Add another link, and if I add one more, if that customer brings me a customer, I reduce it to 167. Break it down, until it's almost nil, right? So you got to think that way. So people, again, don't have a system for referrals. They wing it. They're like, hey, if you know anybody who can use my services, let me know, blah, 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 blah. No, but you're going to have a system. Something that happens every single time at the right time where you say a certain thing, and they know that they're responsible for bringing you something. Okay? So, pathway to power. If you create endless change, you can outspend everybody in acquiring the customers that start the change. So if you do spend money on advertising right now, in any way, shape, or form, could be Facebook, could be in the newspaper, could be in magazines, could be in directories, could be whatever, okay? If you concentrate on this referral strategy, then you can outspend everybody because it's going to pay for itself over time. It could be negligent, okay? So, 3 approaches to cloning customers. Number 1 is direct referrals. Okay, does customer get a customer, pretty much. Okay, direct endorsement, number 2. And number 3 is implied endorsement for referrals. So the direct referrals is, like I said, customer get a customer, member bring a member. So in the box that I give out here, I give a pay it forward flyer. It's in there. And I'll show you. Here it is. So I do this. Everybody understand what the pay forward philosophy is? Right? When I was president of the California Junior Chamber of Commerce, that's my strategy. It's like every member bring in 3 members. And then they'll bring in 3 members and so on and so forth. So this one says, hey, now that you're part of EMP, share it with others. Let others benefit from what you're benefiting from, right? And if you do that, then I'm going to give them a gift and I'll also give you a gift too. Okay, so that's how I implement it. Okay? Now I'm going to change this since that hasn't been working as effectively, so I'm going to narrow it down to who's the one person you know in your life who can really benefit from, right? So I'll be doing that. So you got to have a strategy for this, okay? So one strategy that I've taught before that's more for clients than anything, but you've heard me say it before, I'm going to share it again, okay? So it's the one Dan Kennedy and Matt Zabula use for financial services. And so the script, and it's a script, it's choreographed. It's not like winging it, okay? So he says, gosh, I don't know if you know this, but I don't really advertise to promote my services. I work on referral from happy customers like you. If I could hit the repeat button every single time, I would do it with people just like you. You are awesome. You're privileged to work with, pleasure. But if I could hit the repeat button every time, I would do it. So, you know what? If someday you're with some friends and a conversation comes up about, how do I invest my money? How do I pay for my son's school or education? You know what? I'm going to give you these books. If that conversation comes up, would you give them one of my books and just say, this is my guy. This is the guy I trust. Would you do that for me? Is that kind of powerful?
Yeah, nice.
So that works well in client situations more than customer if you do transactional stuff across the table. But you can still have a script. It's like, for instance, if you own an appliance store, Maytag or something like that. Maytag's going to break down, but let's just say it, right? You say, oh, you've got a Maytag, great. Do you know anybody else who owns a Maytag? What do you know in your family or a neighbor that might own a Maytag? Do you think they might benefit from knowing that I'm here in town? Who are they? Let me send them a gift. Let me send them a thank you gift. You just ask. But you got to do it when they feel great about the transaction. Get them in a peak state. Okay? If they're in a peak state, you're going to say, sure, why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I tell the world about it? But you got to narrow it down. Okay? Narrow it down so they don't have to think of everyone in the world. Does that make sense? It's like, I don't know anybody. Who do you work with? Oh, yeah. Who do you play golf with? Who do you know at your son's school? Stuff like that. So narrow it down. The last part of direct referrals I want to tell you about is the EAR formula. It's Dan Kennedy's EAR formula. You have to understand that, let me just give you the E. E is earn. You've got to earn your referrals. Don't expect them. Don't just because you gave a service that you're going to do it, you've got to earn it. You've got to do valuable work. So they're like, wow, right? You got to ask for them. Ask for referrals, and again, having a system for doing it at the right time during the transaction, ask them the right way. And it doesn't help if you flatter them a little bit, just like I just did, right? If I could hit the repeat button every time, I would get a customer just like you. Right? And then lastly is reward. R is reward. Say thank you. Because a referrer is a referrer. Somebody who refers will refer again if they feel that you've acknowledged them. Great way to acknowledge them is say thank you, number one. Send them a gift if you can. At least write a card saying thank you so much for that referral. But acknowledge them in your newsletter. Send out an email and say, hey, I got to just tell you about the coolest client I have. I just referred you to this new client, and I just wanted to let you know that she's awesome. All right, so that's direct referrals. We all pretty much know that, right? Okay, second one, direct endorsement. So this gives you a broader access to prospects who know or know of your customer endorser, meaning the person who's giving the endorser may or may not know, people who may not know him, but they know of them. And that person doesn't necessarily know this group. Okay? Let me give you an example. So an endorsement from a prominent business person in a town, let's say a restaurant here in Pasadena or an auto dealer, enhances your ability to secure favorable attention from other local business owners, even though your prospect may not know them personally, and vice versa. So let me give you an example. So here's a letter. So why is a clothing store owner writing to you about a gas station? So if you've got outstanding service somewhere, I'm just going to write the chamber members and tell them about this person because they all got to go. You ever come across a business that's like really treating you well and you say, how can I help you? This is one way to do that. Right? So it says, dear customer, who do you trust to take care of your car? Finding somebody really reliable who does a thorough, superior job, tough, isn't it? Well, I found somebody I'm so impressed with that I've decided to tell you and all my customers about it. Okay? So I have a copy of the letter, and if you would like it, just email me tomorrow, Craig@Craigvaline.com. I'll give you the letter, you can borrow it, see how you can use it. You can use it for other clients, you can use it yourself. But it's an endorsement letter. Okay? Could you do that for your clients and say, wow, they'll go, thank you, right? Why is a marketing consultant writing to you about a chiropractor? Because I sleep horribly, and this guy is a dream maker. You know? Something about that. Okay? So that's an endorsement letter, and that's the direct endorsement coming from someone. So I might send that to my clients. I might send it to neighbors in my neighborhood. I might send it to chamber members. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would use it. How would you use it? You can think about that. All right. Another example is, let's say I have a good endorsement from a local dentist about driving in new patients with direct mail. I'm using a real example here. I might write to non-competing dentists with a comparable sales process. Headline. Okay. Dr. Emily Latran thanks me for sending her a bunch of new patients through a monthly new mover direct mail campaign. Would you like a bunch of new patients each month too? So this is the direct endorsement. Using my success with somebody else, I'm sending it to non-competing target market, right? And it's an endorsement because I'm telling them I've already had success with this person. Even better would be if I sent it on a letterhead. See how powerful that would be? So I've done this with my friend Dr. Dennis Buckley. I've done it with Dr. Berg, reaching out to chiropractors and dentists, using this strategy to invite them to these meetings. Okay? Because they're two of my two honorary life members who get the epitome of what I teach. They love me. They make fun of me, but they love me. But if I've done great work for someone else, and they know her because she's, let's say, an opinion leader, or she's known in the industry. She runs the UCLA Alumni Dental Association, so a lot of people know her. I know her. And what? She's getting success through mail? I want to know more about that. I want to meet this guy. You understand? Okay. All right, number 3, implied endorsement referral. This is a fun one. Okay? So it allows you to leverage just having someone as a new customer. All right? By association referral. So, because you're associated with them in some way, shape, or form. Okay? So let me tell you about chiropractors. My friend Brian's here in the room. We belong to an association called CORE, Chiropractors on the Road to Excellence. So, one thing that I do is I go to every meeting, every month. I sponsor the meeting. I get 10 minutes up in front of the room, share my wisdom, and then people talk to me afterwards and say, hey, can you help me with this? Okay? Because I'm one of them. Okay? I'm now Dr. Craig, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Something like that.
Have you adjusted anybody?
I don't do this. Only philosophy.
Exactly.
So here's what I would do if I were sending out something to other chiropractors. Okay? So I'd send out a copy of my book, which I've done, including a little letter or a note attached. It says, Dr. Dennis Buckley loved this book. I thought you'd find it valuable and interesting too. If you want to talk about pages 67, 103, 107, 112, call me. Guess what? I'm targeting pages. By the way, he's in my book. So it's another powerful endorsement. But I'm using his name because he liked my book. Whether he and I do business at all, he likes my book and they know him. So, do you understand? Like, I was going to try to come up with a thing here. If I did Facebook advertising and I said, I want to target all of Maurice Camino's friends. I was thinking of you as I was doing this thing. Yeah. So if I want to target all Maurice Camino's friends, I could do a very highly targeted Facebook campaign and said, Maurice Camino has rave reviews for EMP. I know Maurice Camino. Boom. Click. And if I was smart, I'd get a video from him saying, hey, I love EMP, blah, 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 blah. He goes to the page, and then they opt in and they come to the meeting. Does that make sense? So it's a powerful strategy. And so I'd send it to all my target customers. Can you see how you can use that? See this better? Just three simple strategies, okay? So, how to avoid broken chains. Do more than one thing to get the next chain. Don't just have one referral strategy. Do multiple. So you want to do direct campaigns. You want to do direct endorsements. And you want to do implied endorsements. And who knows what else. If you employ one strategy and it doesn't work on one person, that chain is broken. You understand? So, hey, do you know anybody who did it? Yeah, what do you think about it? I couldn't think of anybody to change for. Right? So my job is to keep on trying to do it, but if he doesn't, then that's okay. So I want to keep my costs down. I want to leverage my relationship. Because if he feels empowered, he feels great when he's around here, he feels good, why wouldn't you want to tell somebody? You know what I mean? Same with your product or service. Get them in a peak state where they just go, dang, good stuff. If you employ 10 strategies, though, right, 9 can still fail, and only 1 can work on a given person, the chain continues. So that's why we talked about diversity creates stability. You've got to have multiple things working at the same time. Because what if one stops performing? Right? Make sense? Good or great?
Yeah, great.
Great or like change?
Life change.
Seriously, it is if you haven't been doing this. Start doing it. It'll change your life. Okay? All right.